This one's hit down the left field line, headed for the corner, and that baby's gone. And that curveball is hit to left field, and that's hit well. Dickerson's back, and that baby's gone.
Had to come back to the plate. Simeon drills one to center. Robert back, looking up. It is gone. Marcus Semien to straightaway center field.
Marcus Semien to Toronto. The Blue Jays make a splash here on a big hot stove news day. Get involved. Blue Jay fans, hit the like if you're excited about this move. The Toronto Blue Jays sign a shortstop. What does that mean for Bo Bichette and Cavan and Vladdy? That whole thing, we're going to dive into that in just a couple of minutes. But first, we're going to take a look at Marcus Semien and what he could bring to the Toronto Blue Jays, because he's a nice bat. And if you haven't been paying attention to baseball on the West Coast, you might kind of want to know more about the new slugger. Now, it's a one-year deal, so they're not getting into bed with him for a long period of time here. Understandably so, because they got a lot of talent, and they don't want to, I think, be just restricted to maybe this one move, because there's a lot of other moves that they that they could make here that they've been linked to. So let's first take a look at what Marcus Semien could be in 2021 for the Blue Jays. Here's his projection. Looking at 93 runs, 25 homers, 73 RBI, 11 steals, a 256, 337, 450 slash line. What do you guys think? We are live right now. Thank you, everyone who is here. If you're in the chat and you want to weigh in, what do you think? Is this good? Does this look good? Is he going to go over? Is he going to go under? If he's going to go over or under, let me know what aspect of this projection do you think he goes over or under. Depends on where he's hitting in the lineup. Obviously, that runs and RBIs could flip-flop if he's at the top of the lineup or if he's at deeper down in the lineup. This is a long lineup now for Toronto. We'll kind of see where he plays. So Simeon comes over. What's interesting, anybody that wasn't really watching, this was our first indication that something was going to happen. This right here, this thing was our first indication from Carlos Baerga on his Instagram account about a half hour before the news broke. So, Carlos Baerga breaking some news there for the Toronto Blue Jays. What's the lineup look like? That's the big part here. Let's take a look at how this impacts the Blue Jays right away. Look at the depth chart. Now, Marcus Semien is a shortstop. He hasn't played third base in, he hasn't played third base in a long time. I want to say it's since 2014. He has been a shortstop exclusively for the last 6 or 7 seasons. Now, that's interesting because Toronto likes to have the versatility. He has played third. In 2014, he played 33 games at third base. So do they try that? Or do they move him to short and then move things around? This is kind of how I think the depth chart, how the infield could shake out. Does this move give Vladdy a shot at third base and they move Cavan to first? Does Bo's got to slide to second. Simeon is your shortstop. I got to think this is kind of how it's going to play out. I'd love to see Bo stay at short. Because I think the long term, the success for this team has Bo at short and Cavan at second, and then Vladdy ultimately probably at first. But Simeon is an interesting move here because of the fact that he's not as versatile as some of the guys that we've seen that the Jays like to attach themselves to and that they have attached themselves to. Kicking the tires on Chris Bryant. Does this mean Chris Bryant that's not going to happen? This infield now is one more move like that, and it's crowded. So this lineup might be done. This could be the team now. This could be the lineup. Let's take a look at the lineup. Springer at the top, then Biggio, Bichette, Guerrero, Gurriel, Simeon. Simeon's going to be, I think Simeon floats between 2 and 6. And that's this lineup. That's the Blue Jays lineup realistically moving forward here. A guy like Simeon could float all over this lineup and bat against second, could bat sixth, could bat seventh. This is a long lineup now. And again, you probably have Roddy Tellez get in there, some DH to give a lefty bat. This move is a head scratcher for 2 reasons. for two reasons, I think this move is a little bit of a head scratcher. First, he is primarily a shortstop. He doesn't show much versatility. Now, maybe they'll try to change that, but he hasn't the last handful of years, 6-7 years, he has been exclusively a shortstop. So the lack of versatility is an interesting choice here. And the fact that it's another righty bat. If you could have chosen between Marcus Semien or Didi Gregorius, which way would you have gone? Again, we are live. If you are in the chat room, would you rather have had the lefty bat of Didi? Because I think the production could be similar between Simeon and Didi Gregorius, but Didi gives you the lefty bat. Simeon gives you the righty bat. So it's for my taste, that makes this an interesting move that they go with the righty bat with a little less versatility. Now, he comes from Oakland. They've got a great system over there, right? They know how to get the right guys. And by the way, this is $18 million we're talking about. So it's not like they got a deal. They didn't go and steal Marcus Semien away. $18 million for Marcus Semien. And, what are we going to, let's do this. Let's look back at what he's been over the recent years, because Marcus Semien has put some good numbers together. He had a very nice, awesome 2019, which he ended up finishing third in the MVP voting. So that's great. That is by far his best season, a standout season. The next closest season you could say to that would have been 2016, maybe, when he hit 27 homers, drove in 75 runs, but that batting average wasn't as good. In 2019, he hit 285. In 2016, he hit 238. But the home run comp is a little bit similar from 19 to 16. Again, we have a bunch of new faces in here. Anybody that's new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is a great place for Blue Jays content. And hit the like if you're excited. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. Hit the like, Blue Jays fans, if you're excited. This team's making moves now. It was a week ago. The whole Yates and Springer thing went down. Now we're back. We've got Marcus Semien. These guys are making moves. Watch out. On a Tuesday, Blue Jays are coming for you. So they go and get this deal done. We're going to take another look at what we could expect from Marcus Semien in 2021. We're going to take a look at his projection. This is based on Ron Chandler's baseball forecaster. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. If you're familiar with the channel, you're here with the channel. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat room, so I know we have a lot of guys that are familiar with this. This is about a 60% confidence level projection, so there's room to grow. They're not projecting the peak. This is their safe number. We're going to take a look at the notes that they have for Marcus Semien for the 2021 season. And these are the notes. Again, this is directly from the baseball forecaster for Marcus Semien. On the surface, looks like 2019 was less evolution, more aberration. Well, we don't like to hear that, do we? But while 2020 results and overall skills are discouraging, course of season, slow start, 3-week hot streak, cut short by the side injury, offers glimmer of hope, as does his XPX. In final analysis, 2019 may turn out to be a career year, but modest bounce back looks like a decent bet. That's taking into account things like his batting average, his expected batting average, which is on point. I give him credit. A lot of times you see big swings in batting average compared to the XBA. He doesn't have a big swing. Last year, he hit 223. The XBA was 225. The year before that, his BA was 285. The XBA was 290. So what he gives you is pretty legit. Pretty straightforward there. So the metrics, just take a look at the metrics here. And the game, same thing with the homers and the expected homers. Last year, he hit 7. It was expected the X home runs was 7 to go along with the 7 that he hit. His 2019 total was 33. The X home run was 32. So it's not like he hit 33 home runs, but the X home run was 20. Those were legit home runs. So he gives you what he is about, right? He's not really getting lucky. He's not swinging out of his shoes, any of that. He's just what the stats you see are that's what you get. And I honestly feel comfortable with that. I like that. That's almost reassuring in a way. Hits about 67% of the balls in play are either line drives or in the air, fly balls. 67% in the air, 33% on the ground. I like that ratio. I like that a lot. Walk rate is pretty clean, about 11%. So not too bad. Contact rate, 76%. Like to see that a little bit higher. You want to try to get to that 80 and up, and you're getting to some of the good hitters. So ultimately, this is a nice move. The fact that it's 1 year too, how can you go wrong? How can you go wrong with a 1 year deal for Marcus Semien? If it doesn't work out, it's 1 year. This guy's also been in the playoffs. He's got playoff experience. They're sort of putting that together. Ultimately, this is a good move. Jays fans, if you're with me, hit the thumbs up, give the video a like, show the support for the move. Also supports the channel. But this is a nice move. Comment. We are live still. Comment in the chat what you feel about this move. If you're excited about it, everybody right now, are you excited about it? Are you a little disappointed? Because again, when we're taking a look at the lineup, we're taking a look at the depth chart. It's probably, this is it. Unless there's a trade, unless Randall Grichuk gets dealt or something like that happens, this is the lineup. Now they can focus on the rotation, making sure the pitching is on point, but this is probably it. This means if you were holding out hopes for Marcell Ozuna, or you were hoping for Chris Bryant like I was, if you were hoping for a Nelson Cruz thing or a Didi Gregorius thing or anything like that, this is probably not going to happen. This is probably it. A lot of people weighing in on where they think the defense is going to play out. Listen, this depth chart, I'm guessing we're all kind of guessing, right? You got Simeon has played short for the majority of his career. He is a regular shortstop. You got Bo can slide over to second. Vladdy has been just busting it. I got to think, Biggio might be the logical choice to go to third, but give Vladdy the chance, right? Only reason I think you kept Vladdy at first base is if you went out and got a third baseman. If they made the trade for Chris Bryant, then you can tell Vladdy, sorry, man, we made this move. We had to do the move for the good of the team. We got to keep you at first. They didn't go get a third baseman. Biggio can play anywhere at that infield, basically. So put him at first. Give Vladdy, reward him for busting it and getting to, getting his weight down and being as good as he is. So this is ultimately a nice move. Again, Jays fans, are you excited or are you a little disappointed? If you're catching the replay of this and we're not live, comment below. If you're live in here with me now, comment in the chat because I want to know what you think. I want to know, do you feel like this was the right move? 1 year, $18 million. I mean, it's a great addition to the lineup. I feel very confident in what he could give the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, we looked at his projection from Ron Chandler already, but just looking at what he can offer, in 2019, he scored 123 runs, hit 33 homers, and drove in 92, was third in the MVP voting. So Marcus Semien was in beast mode in 2019. In 2020, not so much. But anybody that's hanging out, knows the channel. We're handing out mulligans left and right for 2019 performance. If you struggled in 2019, I don't care. I don't care. We played 2 months. We played 2 months of baseball. So there is plenty of time in a full season for players to swing out of those slumps. There was no time to swing out of a slump. And Marcus Semien just couldn't get his numbers together. And we didn't get a full season. I'm fine with that. We're handing out mulligans for anybody who struggled. And we're also not drinking the Kool-Aid that much for anybody that overperformed, like a Luke Voigt or Trevor Bauer. We're just, we're not totally all in on those guys because they were incredible in that shortened, truncated season. That's another piece. Guys that are in here, we got about 200 people hanging out. This probably most definitely rules the Blue Jays out of the Trevor Bauer sweepstakes based on the money. I don't think they're going to go and drop $30 million on Trevor Bauer if they're dumping $20 million, almost $20 million here for Marcus Semien. I think they're probably going to go the economical route for the pitching. I mean, that's my opinion. Rod Baraha saying, and I'm sorry if that's Rod Baraha or Barrera, but you're saying too many righties, and that's your opinion, and I share that opinion with you. That's another reason why I think that this is kind of a head scratcher, because you've got an all righty lineup except for Cavan Biggio. That's why I kind of, if we did something like this where we went and got another infielder, if I had to choose between Semien and Didi, I would have been happy with Didi because he's a left-handed bat. Semien is, I think, a better player, a better hitter, but Didi, Didi can get hot and go on a tear, and Didi's a lefty bat. This Jays really kind of needed that. Yes, Jays are making moves. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Tyler thinking it's going to go Paxton and Walker. I think that could be it. That could be it. That wouldn't be too bad. And, that they put together a formidable team. And that's what they're doing here. They are putting together a team that is going to make a run. And this is exciting. Guys, just think back to the start. Let's go back to the start of the pandemic. Let's go back to, January, February, back when they signed Ryu, or right before they signed Ryu. A 500 team at best is kind of what we would have been happy with, right? That was the start of last season. We would have been happy with a 500 team. Now they're assembling a team to make a run to win the division. That quickly, the Blue Jays pulled it together. This is exciting. Jays fans, if you're in here, any new Jays fans just discovering the channel for the first time, I hope you subscribe and hang around and stay close to the channel. Every time the Jays do something, we come on here, we talk about it. We do talk a lot of all baseball. Later tonight at 10 o'clock, in 3 hours, we will be back to do the ball cap nightcap, in which we'll talk about everything. We're going to talk about Trevor Bauer in more detail. We're going to talk about the Phillies finally getting JT Realmuto done. We'll talk more about this move. We'll probably touch back on the Springer and everything. So we're going to talk about a lot. We're going to destroy the writers of the Baseball Association for not electing anybody to the Hall of Fame. There are 10 guys on that list that are Hall of Famers. Don't even get me started on that. We're going to get into that at 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to get all jacked up at 10 o'clock at night because there are Hall of Famers on that list, and it's just BS that they didn't elect anybody. Kurt Schilling's got over 3,000 strikeouts. I don't care if he was a jerk. You know who was a jerk? Ty Cobb was one of the biggest jerks that ever played the game. Don't give me that. Babe Ruth was a jerk. Ty Cobb was a jerk. I could go on. Don't even get me started on that. So anyway, we'll get into that at 10 o'clock. Right now, Blue Jays. Sorry, back to it here. Again, Jays fans that are here, if you're excited, hit the like. Let's let everybody know that this is big. We're excited about it. Let me know if you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. We are going to hope for, we're going to hope that this just kind of works out with that infield. I'm hoping it does. Again, I just scratched my head on the shortstop situation. You moving Bo. It's a 1-year deal. We'll just have to. We'll see how that all plays out. Honestly, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, how it all plays out. Here is the deal, guys, and here's the other thing too. If you're seeing any news break, we did this last week. If you see anything break, tweet it at me at Jim Riley Live. I've got a couple guys here tweeting at me right now at Jim Riley Live. If you see anything, tweet it at me. Thank you, random account Mark at Mark4923 tweeting to me. Shai Davidi, Jay's plan is to use Simeon at third. Cavan shifting to third, where he played 10 of the final 13 games last season, including the playoffs. Jays will open with Vladdy Vladimir Jr. at third as well, but most likely it's Biggio. Okay, I see what he's saying there. So Shai Davidi saying the plan for the Jays is to use him at second. That's interesting because Marcus Semien hasn't seen second base outside of a shift since 2014, right? I mean, I don't want to get into a mess where we have guys booting balls in the field because they're just not at a spot where they're comfortable with. That's why I'm kind of surprised by this move. I'm all right with it. I'm happy with it. I think this is a nice bat. I'm surprised that I'm also kind of surprised that it's a 1-year deal for $18 million. Why isn't it 1 year with an option? I'm kind of surprised about that. I'm surprised that Simeon will get down with that. This is going to be Marcus Simeon's age 30 season. So I guess he's thinking that sign a 1 year deal, go hop back into beast mode like I did in 2019, and I can get that 5 year deal heading into my age 31 season from somebody else. That might be Marcus Simeon's thinking there, and he's going to use the Blue Jays to get him there, which if that's the case, listen, I love players in a contract year, and Marcus Semien is going to be doing everything he can to prove that he's got it, and he is going to be worth a big long-term contract at the end of the 2021 season. So I'm all good for it. Adam Stewart, I smell a trade coming for a starting pitcher. I would love for them to have worked out a Hendricks deal. I think they could pick up the phone and call and get Hendricks. They could pick up the phone and call and get Sonny Gray. Would love that. You're kind of seeing the teams that are going to be in the mix for the World Series. They're at a point where they have two aces at the top of the rotation. The Blue Jays need to get to that point. The Blue Jays need to have two aces, not develop the ace, not have an ace come out of nowhere, go into the season with two aces on the squad. You got Ryu. We need one more. Go and make the trade. Get somebody that if you're in a 5-game series and you got to win 3 games, you're going to send 2 pitchers out there to give you the 2-0 advantage. And that's what we need. I don't want Pearson to have that heavy weight on his shoulders trying to become the ace. Let's let him get there. And let's be honest, Nate Pearson is kind of going to be on a pitch count limit this year. He's not going to pitch the whole season. He's not going to go throw 250 innings. Nate Pearson's going to be on a pitch count. So let's not overstress that arm. Let's not try to hope Robbie Ray rediscovers Robbie Ray from 3, 4, 5 years ago. Let's not hope that stuff happens. Let's just go get it done. Go get Kyle Hendricks. Go get Sonny Gray. Go make those moves happen. They're doing this with the lineup that makes me think that they are serious about something like that. You don't go get Springer and you don't get Yates and you don't sign Simeon for 1 year if you don't have a plan in place to go for it in 2021. I mean, that's one other piece that this thing tells me is that these guys want to go for it. They are going to try to win the East and make a deep run into the postseason. We've been talking about it. It's sort of my philosophy. Set yourself up. Put yourself in position to win it all. Okay? So get the depth. Get a good 6 or 7 guys that can start. Get a lineup where you got to platoon some guys because you have so much depth. Put yourself into a position where you have enough depth in case you have injuries or people that don't perform, and you're in a position where, let's say you are healthy heading into the playoffs, your team is good enough to leapfrog anybody who might be a little bit better. Maybe they have a little bit better of a rotation, right? That Yankees rotation, when Severino comes back, the Yankees rotation is better than Toronto. No doubt about it. Garrett Cole, Severino, Taijuan, Kluber, and then Garcia. That rotation come playoff time is better. That's what the Blue Jays need to be prepared to go up against. That's key here. I think that they can get past. I think they can get over Houston. I think they can get over. I mean, just trying to think about anybody else that might be a rival in the American League. I think they are surpassing the Rays. I think they have surpassed the Central teams. And I think they're better than the West teams. So Toronto right now, and it's just the White Sox, right? The White Sox. Now, the White Sox have done exactly what I've just said, right? Giolito and Lynn, they're ready to go. You go into a 3-game rotation or a 3-game playoff or 5-game playoff, and you got to win 3 games, and you got Giolito and Lynn starting it off. Blue Jays have to be able to counter that. The Blue Jays have to put together a rotation that can counter going up against the White Sox with Giolito and Lynn, or going up against the Yankees with Cole and Severino. They're not there yet. They need to make another move with the pitching. Let's do the lineup again. Yes, I can do the lineup again. John, thank you. We have, since I last checked, I think we have about 100 more people in here. Let's pull up a few of some of the visual aids real quick. Let's first start with the lineup. This is obviously interchangeable. We got Springer at the top. I think that's set. I think Cavan is second, probably set. Biggio third, you got to think so, right? And then 4, 5, 6, 7, it's fluid. You guys in the chat, anybody watching this after we're live, comment below. What do you want the lineup to be? How does this flow for you guys? Springer, Biggio, Bichette, I like those top three. Are you with me? If you're with me in the chat and you like the top three that I've got, hit 3 right now. In the chat, hit 3 if you're with me and you think top 3, good, right? Then, how does it go 4, 5, 6, 7? Because that, I know, Matt, I don't like Hernandez that low either, but what are we going to do? That's the beautiful part about this lineup, is that Hernandez is that low. Okay? That is, look at that as a good thing, that Hernandez is hitting 7th. Anybody that's not a Randall Grichuk fan, hey, you know what? That's okay, because he's batting 8th on this thing. All right? People corrected me on the Biggio thing. Listen, I've seen the information from Shai talking about how Cavan is going to go to 3rd. Vladdy will get a chance at 3rd. You have Cavan and Vladdy at 3rd, 1st, whatever, and then you're going to have Bo stay at short. I've seen that, and Simeon's going to be a 2nd, but I put this together before we hopped on. Either way, the fact that you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all interchangeable, I mean, this is interesting. Biggio 9 might be a move. You like having him bat 9, so when the lineup turns back around, it could be. It could be. This lineup, you have to love this lineup heading into the 2021 season. You have to love this lineup. Everybody in the chat right now, let's do it again. If you love the lineup, hit an L. Wait, no, that could mean loss. Forget it. L. Hit the L if you love this lineup. Randall Grichuk is hitting 8th, guys. 8th. Alejandro Kirk could hit 300 this year, and he's hitting 9th. This is a amazing lineup. Let's look at the depth chart, because we got the lineup here. Let's take a look at the depth chart. They're talking about how Simeon's going to play 2nd. That came out after I came on and after I put this together. They're going to have Semien at 2nd, Bichette at short. That's what they're looking at when it comes to the depth chart, right? But I believe you give Vladdy a chance. Reward him. Make him feel rewarded for busting it, losing 40, 50 pounds. What do you guys think? This is, I think, fair. You can obviously have Cavan play 3rd. They'll move pieces around. I think this is, I'm good with this. I think it's going to be something like this. You'll probably see out of 162 games, 60 of them look like this, and then 50 of them have Vladdy at 1st, and then 30 have, Simeon at 2nd, or Simeon at short. I mean, it's going to be all over the place. It's kind of going to be, the lineup is interchangeable, which is nice. I think maybe you have Simeon go back and forth between short and 2nd. But let's see. Alec, I love your enthusiasm there. Jay's going to win it all. Let's hope so. They got to get over. The only competition that the Blue Jays have right now in the American League, the only competition they have are the White Sox and the Yankees. They've jumped ahead of everybody else. And again, this 1-year deal for Simeon, 2 factors of it. 2 things you can read into this. Simeon is going to be busting it because he's going to be playing for a big payday next year. That's check that box. And the Blue Jays are going for it. They want to win the American League East. They want to put a team together to make a run. That's what you take from this. There's nothing else to take from it. You don't do this move if you don't think you can make a run. And that means there's got to be a pitching move coming. I want Taijuan Walker back. I think a lot of us can agree with that. I would love to get Taijuan Walker back, but I also want to have somebody at the top of that rotation that can compete with the White Sox and the Yankees, because when we get to the fall and the Yankees are throwing out Cole and Severino in games 1 and 2, the Blue Jays have to be able to counter with Ryu and somebody. If they're facing the White Sox and the White Sox are throwing out Giolito and Lynn, the Blue Jays have to counter with somebody. You can't have them counter with Ryu and let's hope somebody else establish themselves as the dominant number 2. Let's go into the season with that guy already on the team. And if Pearson elevates to that during the year, awesome. If Robbie Ray has a renaissance, awesome. This is what they need to be. If they sign Taijuan Walker and Taijuan Walker pitches for 34 games like he did for 6 games, awesome. But I don't want to rely on that. Pearson's still developing. Exactly. Pearson, depending on how they manage those innings, Pearson might be shut down by the time we get to the playoffs. Or he'll be out of the rotation and he'll be pitching out of the bullpen. He's going to be on a pitch count this year. So that's it. Yankees crush Ryu. Listen, I mean, Ryu got roughed up by the Rays. That's why you need two, guys. That's why you need two. You want to have somebody who has the potential to go out and shut down. And if that guy doesn't, you have somebody right behind him who can pick it up for him. That's why the Blue Jays need to do this move. The Yankees, think about a 5-game series with the Yankees. You're going to see Cole, Severino, and Kluber if Kluber's healthy. You don't like that. You don't like the Blue Jays rotation matchup with that. They need to do something. I want to see them do something. I think they will do something. These moves, you don't go get Springer. You don't spend $18 million for 1 year on Marcus Semien to waste that 1 year. You don't go get Kirby Yates. I think there's another bullpen move. I think there is another starter, and I think there could be a trade. Are the Jays out on Turner, Robert Brown? Yes, I would say the Jays are out on Robert Turner or Justin Turner because there's no room anymore. We'll pull it up because we have more people in here than we did when we had it last time. This is sort of what it looks like. There's no room for Justin Turner. Okay. However, this depth chart's going to play out. There's no room for Justin Turner. There's no room for Chris Bryant. There's no room for anybody else. The only way a spot pops open is if they make a trade, if Grichuk or Teoscar or God help us, Lourdes, if one of them get dealt, then that DH spot opens up for a lefty bat. But you can cross off if you were hoping for Marcell Ozuna or Nelson Cruz or something like that. That's not going to happen at this point. That ship has sailed with this move, but that's fine. This guy for 1 year can be just as good. Look at what the Braves got out of Marcell Ozuna on a 1 year deal. I'm not saying that Marcus Semien is going to do that, but who says he can't? Who says Marcus Semien can't go have a Marcell Ozuna type season on a 1 year deal? We've seen him do it before. We've seen Marcus Semien be a beast before. I think he can do it again. Again, because we've got about 200 more people in here now than we did 10 minutes ago when we pulled up the projection. Let's look at the projection. Everybody that's in here, give us a thumbs up if you are excited about Marcus Semien. If you're hanging out, you're just sitting there, you're watching, you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up if you're excited. This is a Marcus Semien 2021 projection based on the Baseball Forecaster. They base this on about a 60% confidence level, so there's room for it to grow, there's room for it to drop, but it's not a ceiling kind of thing. It's not like 25 home runs is the target. 25 home runs is the projection. So you guys in the chat, let me know. 1, if it's over. 2, if it's under. 3, if it looks good. Which way is it going? Is it going over these numbers? If you think he's going over or under, where do you think he's going over or under? Is he going to hit more home runs? Is he going to drive in more runs? Obviously, that's going to depend upon where he is in the lineup. If he's hitting at the top of the lineup, which I don't think he will. I don't think Marcus Semien comes in and boots Biggio and Bichette out of that number 2 and 3 spot. I don't think that's going to happen. I just have a feeling he'll be a little bit lower down, which means you see those runs and RBIs probably flip-flop. I think that's a safe bet. I think you have the runs and the RBIs flip-flop. Just my guess. Everybody that's in here, we are celebrating, if you will, the Marcus Semien signing. We're looking at his projection here. Hit the like if you haven't already. Please subscribe. If you're a baseball fan, this is a great place for you to be to just consume baseball content. Check out the channel. You can see I'm a Jays fan. I love the Jays, so we focus on the Jays. But you'll see I cover everything. So I appreciate you guys checking that out. And if you're a Cubs fan, if you're an A's fan, if you're a Yankee fan, this is a safe place. Yankees 2021, you can speak to that. I'm a Jays fan, but this is a safe place for Yankee fans. It's all good. Safe place for Mets fans. So come on in and hang out and be a part of the community that we're building here. Be a part of Ballcap Nation, if you will. So I like Marcus Semien. I think there are some good things coming from Marcus Semien in the 2021 season. The 1 year deal thing, that's good. You know, what this also means, guys, right? Because I think the Chris Bryant trade is dead now. I don't see that happening. Is that if you were a Jordan Groshans fan, right? Jordan Groshans is probably safe unless he's included in a trade. Jordan Groshans is probably safe. Austin Martin is, Austin Martin was safe, but, you don't have a block. If they signed Marcus Semien to a 5-year deal, then there's a block. Interesting, because, there was word after this deal broke, might have been Passan, might have been Heyman, somebody, that Simeon did want to go back to Oakland. But the Blue Jays came in and swept them up. Does that mean Oakland didn't want to do more than the 1-year deal? So very, very interesting. Alec, thank you, buddy. Thank you for that. If you are subscribing for the first time, let me know in the chat room. I would love to thank you personally if you are first time subscriber. And a reminder, in about 2.5 hours, I think it is, we will be live. We will be back to do the ball cap, nightcap, to talk about everything that happened today. We'll be talking more about this. We'll talk about the JT Realmuto deal. We're going to talk about Trevor Bauer, how it looks like he might be going to the Mets. We're going to tear into the writers for their situation about the Hall of Fame. I have a few things to say about that. So anyway, everybody that's new, if you subscribe, if you like the baseball stuff, I think you'll be happy with it. Mick, thank you for that. Thank you for the sub. Thank you. I'm glad you love the channel. Guzman Herrera, thank you. Thank you guys for coming in. No worries, Yankees 2021. We will catch you next time. You're here now. Hey, we're doing a little preview of it. Let's see. Anyone who's a Jays fan, please subscribe. We're gonna have some fun during the season too. Jason's thinking Bauer to the Angels. I thought that made more sense, but the Mets are, they're going to spend the money for it, so they're going for it. I don't blame them. Let's see here. This is guys. This is a fun situation here. I'm excited about it. I hope you are excited about it too. Again, hit the like if you're excited that Marcus Semien is a Blue Jay for 1 year, and then they can reestablish. Because remember, you got Trevor Story coming down the line. Chris Bryant, if he gets traded somewhere, might not sign long-term. So the Blue Jays can be back into the market for a Trevor Story or Chris Bryant, or they just let Jordan Groshans come on up, or they let, or they wait for Austin Martin. They're ready for Austin Martin. But yes, the pitching is next. Pitching is next. I feel like it is set right. Seager Baez, good point, Banana. It's pitching next. Pitching has to happen next. That's what I want to see. Tyrus, yes, we are closing in on 5,000 subs. Anybody that is a sub, I love it. We are making the push to 5,000. We've been doing regular videos for a little over a year now. It's been 13 months. So, thank you. Anybody that has come here, thank you. It has been an awesome 13 months. I never would have expected to get to, I kind of, when I started the thing, thought 1,000 subscribers after a year would have been cool. And to be in this position, I love it. And I appreciate everybody, every single one of you. So thank you. Are the Jays still going to get Hendricks? I hope they're in on it. I think that's a trade possibility for sure. That could be the next one. LOL O'Neill. Thank you. Make sure you come back at 10 o'clock. Because we will be doing the nightcap. So this is fun. This is exciting. Everybody, thank you for coming and checking things out. Again, hit the like if you haven't already. We are going to wind this time down now after the fact. Once we get this produced and uploaded and everything processed, we'll put some other videos for anybody who might be checking out the replay. That'll be at the end of the stream. But Mick, thank you very much for that. Everybody, thank you. Go Blue Jays. I will be back in 2.5 hours to do the ball cap, nightcap again, to talk more about this and talk about a bunch of other baseball news as well. So thank you for coming in, checking this out. I will leave you with some Marcus Semien bombs, and then we will be out of here, but back at 10 o'clock. So enjoy the Semien highlights.
This one's hit down the left field line, headed for the corner, and that baby's gone. And that curveball is hit to left field, and that's hit well. Dickerson's back, and that baby's gone.
Had to come back to the plate. Simeon drills one to center. Robert back, looking up. It is gone. Marcus Semien to straightaway center field.